What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Rebecca.
I'm Chris.
It's your boy Terry.
And
I'm Kanisha.
I'm Arian.
I'm Tony.
And we are the
Skinners.
Skinners.
The A-Team.
The Prothos, and this is
The Marriage Plug.
The Marriage Plug.
The Marriage Plug.
It's like a fairy tale, but this ain't a movie. Yeah. The way you make me feel, you do something to me. Yeah. I want my hands locked in yours with everything.
This week we are going to be talking about vision.
Vision.
And not just vision by itself, but vision in your marriage. So when you decide, or when one person and another person decides to join together as one in a marriage, why vision is so important.
When you're talking about catapulting your marriage and your relationship forward.
What is your idea, or I guess concept, on when someone say no vision, no marriage, or no vision, no relationship?
It's no vision, no marriage. And that is a theme that is going to be all through this video.
I think it's self-explanatory.
No vision is no marriage. And that's for both of y'all, at the end of the day. And not only just for the marriage part, but even like in your relationship. Because if somebody just, like when we was dating, I knew that I wanted her to be my wife. And if we're going to just play games, no, seriously, if we just going to play games, we just wasting each other's time.
For me, that says that you guys have no direction on where you want your marriage to go. It's basically like you going through your marriage saying, whatever happens, happens. Mm-hmm. And if you guys are saying that means y'all need to sit down and have a conversation on the direction you want your marriage to go and the vision that y'all have for your marriage and the goals that y'all have for your marriage between y'all two or even separately.
Like, think about a vehicle. When you get in a car, you typically have a destination that you want to go to. Mm-hmm. Or if you're just riding around, you at least know you're riding around, but you know you're going to end up back right where you started. I think, if we use that same concept in terms of a relationship, you either got to know where you're going or you got to know you're going to do a circle to end up right back where you started.
But my vision was for her to be my wife, and likely her vision was for me to be her husband.
People need to have a concept of what they want their lives to be like. Making those vision boards, having conversations, the deep conversations are so important so that we can be on the same page.
If you don't have any goals, like you just kind of aimlessly going through life, and you don't want your marriage to be like that either.
It's so important to have that vision and that roadmap for your life so that you can, take steps and be progressive.
There should be a plan and a purpose behind why you guys are married. There should be purpose in your marriage. And so when you begin to create vision, or if you don't have vision, you're like, how are we achieving goals, or what are we trying to obtain? Like, what goal are we trying to reach?
Because when things aren't progressive, I feel like that's when they're boring and people start wandering in many different ways, not just physically, but also mentally. There's nothing to keep you stabilized.
I think for me, though, it was about consistency. Having a job, being able to provide for her, all of the essential things that I needed to do as far as a husband. That was my vision for myself. But for us together, of course, everybody wants to buy a house. Everybody wants to buy, your wife a nice car, right, or so on, stuff like that, having good insurance, the basics of marriage per se. But I think as life goes on, and now that we have grown, and now that we have a child, we're a little bit older, it's like I love home goods things. Like, what do we want to get for the house? Yeah, like stuff like that.
Washers and dryers and
like things like that.
So what about a man's vision? Why is it important for a man to be, I guess, the visionary of a relationship?
I think it's important. I think it's important for the man to be the visionary in a relationship, because I think everything, at the end of the day, and people, we go back and forth about this, but I think the man is responsible for everything that happens in the house. He doesn't have to be the person that makes the most money. He doesn't have to be the smartest person, but he's got to be the person that is the most responsible for what goes on in the home. And so, as my brother told me, he's my younger brother, if the man's not home, things break. So I think that, that's just that means that the man has to know where things are going. How are we going to get there? Where are we going to go? When we get there, what do we want to accomplish? Are we going to stay there? Or are we going to leave? So I think the male role is he may not be the doer for everything, but he's the reason that if things start to slow down, he's the reason things pick back up and get going.
Well, I'm a visionary, so I have a lot of goals and dreams, and as far as my businesses that I want to continue to create and move forward in.
Right.
And having your support within my own vision, and even with your own visions, and having, to support you as well, that's a huge deal for both of us.
I agree with that. I think that a lot of women, when they say, oh, I don't need a man for anything, that's true to a degree. I see where people may think that thought has a place. For us to really have that certainty and be settled within ourselves, if a man has a vision and a man, can lead, and they're, responsible and they're reliable, that is the missing key. Because I know for me, I have a lot of stuff that, I'm blessed about, and I have going on for myself. But at the end of the day, it's something about when Chris can come up with, an idea, and that idea is good and it works.
Yeah.
It's something about that.
Winning.
But I think that that's a missing key that, women are missing, that respect, that mutual trust, that, I know that he's going to lay things out for us and get good results from it.
Me, my visions come from the man up above, God, and he placed them on my heart based on the blessings and talents that he gave me. So with that, I'm saying one of the talents he gave me is cutting hair. So I take that talent and vision cast on that, as far as, okay, I want to be a barber, open up a barber shop.
But then also that kind of moved us to having that vision for us as a married couple. That moved us that shifted our vision. I don't think we ever began our marriage saying we wanted to be entrepreneurs.
So support is so important, not just to have vision. And I also think that it's important to write those goals down. So whatever your vision is, it is important to also make it plain. Don't just talk about it, but write it down, make a vision board, do something that's going to motivate you to see that vision every so often. I mean, it probably should be every single day, but that you're able to see it every now and then and kind of remind you of that vision. But support.
And I think that's really important to have with your life partner, is a shared sense of purpose and what you want your marriage and your family to be like. So.
And even not just for people out there, just in general. I mean, you're going to have goals. And then when you don't have that same support from your spouse, it can be very discouraging. And especially for a man, because at the end of the day, you want to be able to provide and share these ideas with your spouse.
All right, y'all. So we have talked about what no vision, no marriage means. We discussed how we receive vision, and now how do we execute it? So we have this vision. How do we implement that vision? What are the ways and the steps that we have to do to actually make the vision come to pass and make it happen? And so for me, I see it as a cyclical thing. We do these things over and over and over again. And the first portion, I think, is plan. So you have to sit down and have a plan. Here's what I want to do. How are we going to do it? Let's sit down. Let's have the conversation of planning. Then from planning, we move to implementation, and that's actually executing the plan, right? And then the last part that you're always going to be doing is you come back, you check in, reflect and revise on how this is going. What are the things that we have to adjust and change?
And I understand that it's easier said than done, but you can still get it done. Still do it. And then maybe that spouse or that partner will come around like, wow, you actually... I can't believe you did that, and of course that's not the ideal situation, because we are supposed to always be on the same page when it comes to support in those visions. But either way, that kind of goes back to when there is no vision, the people perish, right? Because if there's no vision where we're on the same page with, imagine the issues that can cause, right, within a relationship.
And the other question I wanted to bring, to the forefront is the woman's responsibility in, I guess, handling that vision. So I'll go first on this.
Yeah, please.
So for me, I'm just the executioner anyway. Everybody's story is different. Some people may not be doers right away. Women may not be doers. They may be procrastinators. They may be whatever else. But I think a woman's role, because we do have the capability of being so detail oriented. Like a small example is that when we moved to our house, the ceiling fans were filthy. I don't think Chris had in his mind to go up there and clean the ceiling fans. He probably wouldn't have done that if I wouldn't have said anything. Am I right?
Yeah.
So that's just a small example of, how women are so detailed, and because we have the ability to see the things and the gears and the screws that the men don't see, I think that is our responsibility to pick up the vision and start laying out, like, this is 1A, 1B, 1C. We do this in this order, then we move on. So we have the ability to be that person that can get us from point A to point B. And I feel like that's where the men and women can come together. That's just my perspective. This is how it works in our household. Chris comes up with the idea, and I'm the one that says, okay, this is how we can get it accomplished. And that, has worked for us.
Definitely. If you don't have a vision for life, then you have to be okay with whatever life gives you.
Yeah.
That's how I look at
That's
it.
good. It works if you know how to use it.
Mm-hmm.
And I say that regarding me. Like, I work if you know how to use me. That sounds bad.
No, that's real.
That's
true.
but that's so real. Know your significant other's strengths. Know what they're good at and know what they bring to the table. Because if you know when they should come into the mix or when they should, display or be on full display as far as their skills, talents, abilities, then you need to know when to let them work and do what they do best.
Put in the work. Stay looking out for your vision.
But look, if it's worth having, it ain't gonna be easy. So don't get discouraged just because it's hard.
Yeah.
You can still make it happen.
Man, I need y'all to do a lot. Need y'all to like. I need y'all to subscribe. I need y'all to share. I need y'all to comment. I need y'all to do all of this.
Yeah.
We be dropping gems and y'all just be silent.
That's true.
So we need y'all to go ahead and, support.
Please. We need y'all.
Stay tuned.
TMP, all that.
TMP,
Hold
it down.
Yeah.
All right, so today our video is all about vision in your marriage. One of the things that TMP began to talk about amongst ourselves, and a theme that really came to the surface, shout out to Tony, bro, like this is super deep, is that it's no vision, no marriage. And that is a theme that is going to be all through this video.